So guess what happened? The cat, there he is, ripped off this massive chunk of wallpaper. I am not joking, this is exactly what he did one morning. I heard a ripping sound and this nice shape of wallpaper was torn away. And there's the bits on the ground, as you can see, little bits of wallpaper. So it's not going to be perfect, this repair, but it will look a lot better than a massive chunk of missing wallpaper. I'm using this fancy wallpaper paste. It's not really any different to any other. Here we have a brand new pack of paintbrushes, just using it to paste on the wallpaper paste. It's a nice wooden brushes. They'll rinse out very easily afterwards because it is just wallpaper paste, water soluble. I'm going to use this big one. And 200 milliliters of water going with these 6 grams of wallpaper paste. It's a nice creamy yogurt, that's quite good for spreading on afterwards. No, in fact, it's just an empty container. There's my 6 grams of wallpaper paste. So I'm adding my 200 milliliters of water. It's just proportions, smaller proportion than a large 6-litre volume. The instructions tell you to stir for 30 seconds. Inadvertently, I also seem to have made a nice puppet show in the background there. You can see it's a serpent guarding a cauldron of gold in the background there that I'm producing without realizing. There it is. It's oh, and I've sprayed some paste onto the floor. Great. The serpent's loving that cauldron of gold there. Look at it. Oh, it's getting a bit frisky with it. So here's the piece that I kept. Guess what? It's been about 2 months. I've been keeping this piece of wallpaper in the cupboard and it's still okay. It happens to fit the gap that it was peeled out from, albeit the little bit at the top, like a toe, is missing a bit of wallpaper. So that's going to have to be done later. So now I'm pasting the paste onto the wall there. Get it nice and soaked. There's a few parts where it's peeled up a little bit. If it's soaked on the outside, it will soak through and adhere nicely. So the brush turns out to be quite good at applying it. Now here's the piece. I'm also going to paste the back of that too, just to make sure we've got full coverage. Just using the wall to paste it because it's where the paste is going in the first place, so it won't really matter. There we go. Get it nice and covered. And now we just simply apply it to the wall and make sure it's applied accurately. Not really looking great there, it's a bit out of line. So I think we're going to skip to, yeah, there we go. We've skipped to the bit where I can see it's out of line. It's not quite as bad as it looks because it's just wet around the edges there, as you can see, but it is out of line a bit. So there we go, still plenty of time to peel and reapply it, which I have done here. We've skipped forwards a little bit to me rubbing around, getting it accurately positioned. There we go, looking a lot better. Now you can see the perimeter is a bit wet still. That will dry off and then it will look much less visible. There's a little bit missing at the top, which has to be done at another date. I'm going to give it another soaking of wallpaper paste on top to make sure any bits that potentially are going to curl upwards are soaked and strongly adhered to the wall. As you can see, it's looking a lot better than it did before. This is a much easier alternative to taking the entire strip off and putting a brand new strip of paper on. You risk using a strip of paper that's from a different production run and slightly different colour and slightly misaligned, so it's always better to put the original bit back on. Doesn't look perfect, but it's presentable. So here's the finished job. It's dry and now you can see the dark edges have gone. Here's the guy who did it. You've been amazing. I'll see you next time.